This is the Hidrate Spark Pro 2, a smart water bottle that tracks your water intake directly into your Apple ecosystem and glows to remind you to drink throughout your day. And so rather than just tell you, I wanted to actually show you, after 10 years with these bottles and the launch of this newest bottle, how it's actually changed my life, and really, if it's worth this expensive price tag. So stay tuned and let's get started. So when it comes to Hidrate Spark, there's really two areas that need to be perfected. First is the design, and second is obviously the smart features. So design-wise, there's actually a lot to like about this bottle. First, it's lightweight despite all of the tech that it's actually packing in here. It's got this beautiful matte finish that reflects light and the subtle branding and the size, depending on which size that you get. But probably my new favorite feature is actually the lid, with this button to open to drink from. It's got a locking mechanism on the side so you can throw it in a bag and just forget about it and not have accidental spills. But the most exciting new part is actually the handle that flips open, making it easy to carry. If you look back at my previous gen, it just had this fabric loop, and I was using this thing so heavily that it's just like the remnants of what it used to be. So I was just carrying it around by holding it, which was super annoying. So to have a real firm structural handle, 10 out of 10. So they nail the execution and the design of this water bottle. Beautiful design, great insulation to keep your drink cold while still having a slim profile. But then you get to all of these reasons this bottle is so expensive and really what makes it smart. So the brightest headline feature, of course, is this thing glows. A lot. It glows to remind you to drink throughout the day. It glows to tell you when it logged that you took that drink, and it notices the weight difference. It glows to celebrate that you've successfully completed your goal for the day. And really all of these different glows essentially mean that this is a smart bottle that doesn't need an app, right? Once you understand why it actually glows, you just use it like a normal bottle and it just sort of fits into your life effortlessly. But if you want an app, Hidrate Spark App first gets your info, then gives you your daily water goal. You get to see that reflected in real time in the app. You can see a widget on your home screen or your lock screen. I typically just have it on my Apple Watch so that I can glance down at any time and know exactly how many bottles I still have left to consume throughout the day. Super handy to just ensure that I'm on track. And if I'm not, it glows. And speaking of glowing, you actually have a lot of different customizations here that spin around the LEDs at the bottom of the bottle. You have all these presets that can pulse on and off, or they can blaze in a variety of different colors. They all look really cool. They all capture a lot of attention for sure. And if that's not enough, there's a premium version that unlocks what they call Glow Studio, which gives you a lot more customization into exactly what those colors look like and what they do. You can do a lot more, like you can log other types of drinks that have maybe less electrolytes in them, and then it'll change how much it's actually logging you drinking. It's a little bit overkill. I don't know that I would ever pay for premium, even as somebody who's used this for years, but nice to have for those who are serious enthusiasts with all of this. Now, new this year, they've actually included a speaker in the bottle so you can choose to get alerts when it's time to drink. Now, the speaker is not high quality, and honestly, it's kind of annoying. I personally will never use this thing, but I'm sure that some people will. And I do, like that it's an option, of course. Another new customization this year is that Spark Bottle now works with Apple FindMy. So it works directly within the FindMy app if you ever set it down. As somebody who's lost their bottles consistently, really nice feature to have here. Now, it's not using Apple's chip, so that means you're not going to have the native turn-by-turn navigation that you have with something like AirTags, but it's still a welcome addition to be able to just find it on a map and locate back to it quickly, as well as all of those notifications when you've left it behind or something like that. As somebody who's left their bottle way too many times to count, this is a really great addition to the Hidrate Spark bottle. Okay, so now you know why the bottle is so great, what makes it smart, but what are some of those quality of life items that really make it the best on the market, and why I chose it? Well, first is the premium finish and the built-in handle. The fact that it's BPA and lead-free, obviously important considering I am using this thing daily, the ability to insulate and keep drinks cold for up to 24 hours, and although I haven't tested the 24-hour mark, I will say that the hours that I drink this thing, it's way better temperature retention than the last gen. And finally, the sensor in the bottom that glows and tracks the weight can be removed and is now USB-C rechargeable. And when you do charge it, it lasts up to 21 days before needing a recharge. Now, I would say that one's a little bit questionable. I've been using this thing for a couple of weeks. It is at 31%. So getting less time quoted, but I am also turning on all of those glow features, which are going to take a little more battery. So I assume that quote is with a lot of the glowing turned off. And again, still an awesome improvement, like not needing to charge this thing every couple of weeks is just amazing. So one thing I love about being in this industry for as long as I have is that I get to see the progression of these bottles. Right, I've been using them since they first launched with a Kickstarter campaign, and now I can show you guys what's actually different. So, Gen 1, the Hidrate Spark bottle. This was a bottle with a lot of the same fundamentals that we now have. A great looking bottle with a sensor in the bottom. The lid had a chug lid and loop to hold on to it. I actually thought it looked really cool at the time, and I loved every second of this thing, no complaints. Then we get to the Hidrate Spark Pro. This was the more sophisticated bottle, obviously, that now I've driven into the ground at this point with scratches and wear and tear, but it was beautiful. Much more sleek, felt much more premium, rechargeable sensor in the bottom. All around, a great bottle to fly under the radar, and I took this thing everywhere. Then you get to Gen 3, now with a real handle, a sensor that's USB-C rechargeable, a speaker for built-in alerts if you want that, better battery, better insulation. You know, it's incredible to see the refinements year after year, and even though the first one launched like 10 years ago now, I would still say it would have been an awesome choice even today if they were selling it still. So real talk, after using this thing for 10 years, is it really worth the expensive price tag? And honestly, no. I mean, it's a water bottle, right? You could pay $0 to drink water for free. It's definitely a luxury and I can't really skirt around that. But what I can tell you is in my last 10 years, if you think about the fact that I use this thing every single day and you do the math on all of that, it works out to an extremely cheap bottle and something that I have really enjoyed using every single day. Yes, obviously it's an expensive bottle, but I think that can be said about pretty much any luxury bottle that's on the market. But I specifically was looking for one that could glow, that could change my habits, that could remind me to drink if I was forgetting or just too busy to really think about it. And that's exactly what this bottle does. You know, before these bottles, I used to wait until I was thirsty, and by that point it's too late. I'd down an entire glass of water, you don't retain. And now with the glowing throughout the day, I can honestly say the reminder really does make me drink water more consistently throughout my day. So at the end of the day, I think the price is totally justifiable. Like if I break down this price to every day that I've used it, it works out to so ridiculously cheap that like, it's just incredible. This premium sleek bottle with an exceptional build quality, the ability to be smart and glow, the reliability of the sensor, you know, all of it's true, everything they're marketing this thing as. I think this is the tech product I've used the longest and the most consistently aside from like my phone. And if you're thinking about picking one up, I say, honestly, do it. I've never regretted it. It's not even a sponsored video. Like this is just something I have bought year after year. Look, if you're looking for a smart bottle that has the ability to glow, track your water intake, and actually remind you to drink, then yeah, this is the bottle for you.